This episode is sponsored by Stream. Stream provides a level of performance and UX to build scalable in app chat or activity feeds in days that would take years to build in house, saving you the time and effort. You can use the chat messaging API to build custom messaging apps with a highly reliable chat infrastructure and feature rich SDKs. Build your own Slack, Telegram, Twitch, or Intercom, really anything with support provided for React, Android, React Native, iOS, Flutter, and more. If you are a large scale company, you can make use of the Activity Feed APIs to grow without worrying about the scalability, maintenance, and reliability of complicated newsfeed infrastructure. Check out the links in the description below to get started today for free. Welcome back to another episode of Open Source Cafe. Today I have my childhood friend with me, Karan Singh Bora, and we're going to answer one of the most asked questions is how do people from non-CS fields basically get jobs? So Karan, would you like to tell our viewers a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, hey Kunal. First of all, good to see you after such a long time. And I've been following you on your new channel as well as the free resources that you have decided to put out in the world through your YouTube channel, which is very nice. And it's good to see my friend doing so great on YouTube as well as with his new initiative, this open source cafe, which is pretty nice. So yeah, just a brief introduction about myself. So as Kunal already mentioned, I'm his childhood friend. My name is Karan Singh Bora, and I graduated from Delhi Technological University in 2021, and I specialized in electrical engineering. I got my bachelor's from DTU, and I also bagged an on-campus offer as an analyst at Bain and Company in Gurgaon at their Bain Capability Network, and currently that's where I'm working. So yeah, that's about it. And I also served as the placement coordinator during my fourth year. So I was in charge of supervising the placement processes of all the companies that visited our college during the fourth year for placements and during the third year for internships. So yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. So, Karan has a lot of experience and like in college and placement stuff and how it goes. So, if you want to connect with him, you can find his links in the description below. But let's get started. So, you mentioned you work as an analyst, and you mentioned like you were doing electrical engineering. So, can you tell us a little bit more about like first of all what you do as an analyst? Analyst, like what is the role at your company?
So basically, what we do at BCN is we are an expert client delivery team. So any business problem that comes our way, we need to present solutions through analytics. So basically, what that means is, suppose if you're working on a case and a company from, so I'm in the tech, media, and telecom department in my company. So basically, any technology related, media related, or telecom related company that comes to us, which is Bain, which is a management consultancy, which comes to us with a problem, be it a profitability problem or a revenue problem, or their margins are not what they expected, or they're trying to acquire another company, or they want to look into the market to expand their current product portfolio or something else. So whatever business problem it may be, they come to us and we do the research, we support them, and we help them make that decision faster. Or if it's their profitability, so after the coronavirus a lot of companies suffered because they weren't digital enough, their digital infrastructure wasn't built enough. So this is where our company steps in, this is where Bain and Company steps in. We help them, we support them through analyzing their data sets, through understanding their problems, any problem, and then presenting solutions through analytics and guiding them on how to best solve their problems. So this is what Bain and Company does. And to talk about the analytics stuff is, so basically, if to give you a brief example, if you have to analyze where they are spending their money currently, where their costs are going, be it the raw, suppose like the company VIP comes to us. VIP, it's just an example. So VIP is that suitcase manufacturer. So they want to know that where they can decrease their costs. So what we'll do, we'll ask them for data, right? We'll ask them, where do you currently spend your money? You currently spend your money on plastics, on petrochemicals to manufacture your bags. You currently have about 4,000 employees under your payroll. You How much money do you give to them? And then what's your pay structure for your employees? What's the benefits that you offer them? What other supply chain costs that you incur as a company? So what we do is we analyze all these data, and then we then we identify the pain points, that here you can save this much cost, here you can save this much cost, and this is how we present a solution so that they can somewhat reduce their costs, and this helps them get like the benefits that they wanted. So this is sort of what encompasses in my job as an analyst. Of course, I'm at an entry level position right now, so what I do is just analyze the data sets and present insights to my supervisors, who then take it to the client, or sometimes even I take it to the client, and basically we present them in a coherent manner so that the client understands that what's the problem he's dealing with and what the solution we have to offer. So yeah, that's sort of a.
Now, I'm always advocating for learning in public for developers, and that's why I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, Showcase. Showcase is a network built for developers to connect, build communities, and find new job opportunities. So I was able to create my Showcase profile in a matter of few minutes, and it's a really amazing front page for the tech community. So here you can see information about me, all the social links, about myself, the tech stack that I'm familiar with, and I really enjoy how it categorizes it accordingly. You can also see the positions I'm working on and the credentials. So I had fun speaking at KubeCon and Open Source Summit. You can verify the credentials over here. You can see the repositories that I'm currently active with. You can also check out the platform in dark mode by pressing the display toggle button. They can find communities like JavaScript, blogging as a developer, and React, and they can use their profiles to gain access to new job opportunities. For content creators, you can make money on Showcase by turning on member subscriptions and putting your content behind the paywall. You can use the invite code JOINKUNAL and check out the links in the description to get started today.
Rough.
So that's pretty amazing, and it's like really different than electrical engineering that you did in
Yeah,
college.
definitely.
So how did you decide to not do a core electrical job and more in the data analytics department? Like, how did you find out about it first of all? Like these were
Yeah,
also
so
the options, because that's the question people ask, that what are some of the options that we can go if we don't want a core job? So if you have anything else in mind other than analytics that people can look into.
yeah, so definitely. So the thing about college is, which is why I say that you need to explore a lot of stuff in college. College is the time when you get to explore. So even I did not know about this management consultancy field or analytics or anything else. Like you come out of college, and the most that some people have heard is there are jobs in software. You can code, which is a very viable career option in India or abroad right now. And that's, or if you become a mechanical engineer, you can work for an automobile company like Suzuki, Hyundai, or something like that. And that's pretty much about it, right? We don't know about the numerous other fields that are present. So basically, the same thing that happened with me was I did not know about these fields. I did not know about management consultancy, the field which I'm working in currently. So after second semester, since DTU gives you a lot of free time to explore, there isn't much that you can do in first year, since the syllabus is pretty much common and you just have to study like 2 days before the exam. So it gives you a lot of free time to currently explore all that you want to. So after my second semester, I got in touch with my seniors. I was a part of a couple of societies, and that's where I found out, not a couple of societies, I was just part of one actually, that I like to write. So it was for my newsletter, DTU Times, where I came in touch with my seniors, and I saw them pursuing this field of data analytics and management consultancy, and I was piqued by it. I was like, I did not know about this field. What does this entail? What do I have to do to know more about it? So I talked to them, and that's when I came to know that there is this huge field consisting entirely around data, and basically how to analyze that data, how to get insights. All the companies that are at the top of the world right now are there because of their capabilities to analyze and produce actionable insights from that data. So basically, this is a massive field on its own. And this requires some, I would say, like about 20-25% of the same skills required in software jobs. I'm saying that in terms of utilizing software tools or knowing the basics of coding. But yeah, apart from that, it's completely different. And according to me, it's much more enjoyable. I'm sure Kunal would have a different opinion. But yeah, definitely, I find it much more enjoyable than only software jobs. So that's how I came to know when I talked to seniors. After second year, I did my own research. I reached out to people who are doing good in their field, and that's when I decided that going into electrical, like core electrical jobs or software jobs, are not the only paths that you can take after graduating from TTU or any other college. After engineering, after doing a core engineering from electrical, mechanical, electronics, you can do a lot of other stuff. So yeah, that's how I went about it.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And the thing with interest is that at least for me, it's like if you are making a, a change or something, like if the work that you're doing is having some impact, be that
Yeah.
on open source or some company you are having as a client, millions of people are using that or whatever. So I think that itself becomes like enjoyable. It's all obviously relative. Some people may enjoy mechanical jobs. I don't know shit about mechanical engineering.
Yeah.
So other than this thing, no, I don't know. But yeah, definitely a great option, an exciting field. But we'll talk more about like what are the skill set required. So how did you like prepare for it? What are the skills required and things like that?
So yeah, basically, just to give you a little bit more context, as I said, I came to know about this field after my first year, that this is a field that exists, that is a viable career option. But I did not entirely start pursuing it because I was more interested in the robotics domain till my second and third year, and that's what I pursued. I was part of a technical team, that is Inferno DTU, in our college, and we specialized in making huge robots, which you can call rovers. So basically, we built two generations of Mars rovers, and we participated in like national and international competitions, where basically a lot of universities participate. They make their own version of a rover, and then they compete in a set of specific tasks. So it's very technical. It's all robotics and stuff. So which is where I spend most of my time in my second and third year. But yeah, and that's where I learned the basics of programming. That's where I learned the basics of electronics. That's where I learned the basics of robotics. And if anybody's into robotics, ROS, that is the robotic operating system. So yeah, that's where I learned all that stuff. That's where I learned how to build a robot, how to do welding, how to create your own structure so that it stays stable. All about motors, motor drivers, motor controllers, microcontrollers, and all the other stuff. So we worked on GPUs to basically make our own model for autonomous traversal of that rover. So we worked on NVIDIA's Jetson TX2. If anybody knows about that, that's a great tool to have. So yeah, so basically we worked on a lot of technical stuff during my second and third year, and that's these skills definitely helped me in cracking a job in fourth year when I decided to pursue a slightly different field, that is the field of data analytics and management consultancy. So basically, as to the skills that are required, so there are currently two fields that you can go to if you want to end up in the field of data analytics. One is the consultancy field, and one is pure data analytics, data engineering. So the data analytics and the data engineering field is slightly more technical, and the management consultancy or a consultancy or an analyst role at such a firm is slightly less technical. So to name some companies like that hire for consultancy roles are ZS Associates, there's IQVIA, there's Bain, there's BCG, there's McKinsey, there's KPMG, PwC, Deloitte. These are the consultancy firms. And then if I talk about the data science and the data engineering firms, then the list is just endless. Any new startup that is working on data will require a data analytics. Some of the top companies that hires from our college is Fractal Analytics, there's Sprinkler, then there are a lot of other companies as well. BCG also hires data scientists. So basically, data scientist is the need of the hour. So I'll talk about both these roles. So basically, for the data engineering, the data scientist, the data analyst roles, what you need to do is first you need to start programming. You can't be like, I don't like programming, so I need to find a job that doesn't involve programming. Currently, there are, I'd say, about 10%, 15% of the jobs in the world that you can do after engineering that won't require any amount of programming or any use of software tools. So you can't say goodbye to programming. That's the first step. Even if you don't like it, I'm not saying that you get into that you have to get into like competitive programming contests and you have to run behind those ranks and stuff. I've seen my friends do it, and they are great software engineers today. They are placed at very top companies, but that's for them, right? If you don't want to pursue this field, then you don't necessarily need to push yourself into solving all those questions. You just need to pick a language. And I'd say that if you want to start with something, usually you can start with Python. I did not start with Python myself. I started with C++ since I was into robotics, and that's a little more C++ oriented. But yeah, you can definitely start with Python because that's a great way to get into data science, because there are numerous libraries that you need to learn for data visualization as well as for data analytics, such as NumPy, Pandas, scikit-learn, and TensorFlow and stuff like that. That's deep neural, that's like machine learning, but still that definitely helps. So when you start learning these languages, one thing you need to take care of is that you're not just learning them to build your CV or to make projects. You're learning them because you want to crack the interview, right? And you want to learn something out of it. If you just learn them to create a few projects, then you'll definitely, if the interviewer asks you something apart from those projects, then you won't be able to answer, right? And that should not be the case. So basically you want to learn them properly. You want to learn them like not quickly enough, but even don't take so much time that you don't set a proper timetable for yourself. But yeah, I'd definitely say that Python is a necessary skill if you want to get into the field of data analytics. It's one of the most important skills to have. Apart from that, you can get into some projects of like basic machine learning. You can get into scikit-learn library and you can explore that. You can get into some visualization libraries as well, such as matplotlib, and there's a lot to learn in matplotlib. And basically you can basically get into that, the data visualization aspect. Apart from Python, I'd say that you need to have a few more tools in your arsenal, which are definitely good to have. And analytics companies definitely do give you an advantage if you already have like if you're already well versed with these tools. So these include your SQL, which is another like structured query language, which is another important tool if you want to get into data analytics. And a lot of companies still have databases that run on SQL, and you will definitely be given an advantage if you are well versed with those.
This video is sponsored by Teleport, enabling engineers to quickly unify access to any computing resource anywhere on the planet. Check out the links in the description below to get started. Are you juggling with shared secrets, SSH keys, or hopping between VPNs and multiple access points? Check out Teleport to quickly access your computing resources from anywhere. Teleport allows engineers and security professionals to unify access for SSH servers, Kubernetes clusters, web applications, and databases across all environments. With a unified resource catalog, there is no need to maintain inventories. You can also work together to troubleshoot a problem with your colleagues on a remote server or on each other's laptops, and record these sessions as well using shared sessions. Teleport also provides ready-to-use auth for your internal web applications. Easily implement security and compliance with Teleport to adopt industry best practices for access across all protocols and all environments with minimal configuration. How does it work? Teleport is a single binary which enables secure access to SSH nodes, Kubernetes clusters, web apps, and databases. Deployed as a single binary, it seamlessly integrates with the rest of your stack. Get started with Teleport now and try it for free. Check out the links in the description below for more information.
Apart from SQL, there's Microsoft Excel, which is evergreen, because no client is ever going to give you because like not no client, but very few clients ever give you data in some sort where it is pre-processed, right? You have to pre-process it. So Excel and Tableau, these are very great tools to pre-process it and do some basic levels of visualization. You don't always need to go into Python and to code and to apply a machine learning model on your data. Sometimes the results come out even if you just use Excel and Tableau, which is why you need to be well versed with Excel, which is evergreen. It will definitely help you in your career. I can't stress this enough that if you want to get into the field of data analytics and you don't know Excel, how much you're going to lag behind. You have to learn it, whether it be in the first 6 months of your job. It's better to do it in college, right? While you're still in college, you have the time, you can learn Excel. So yeah, that's Python, that's SQL, that's Excel, and some of the data visualization tools. So the two that are most common in the industry right now are Power BI and Tableau. I've seen some companies give more preference to Power BI and some companies give more preference to Tableau. So that's about it. But if you know one, you can definitely learn the other quickly. So that's those two are data visualization tools. So these are some of the technical skills that I've listed out for you to learn if you want to get into this field. And if these skills are in your resume, then it definitely pops out, right? If you have some projects related to these skills, if you can, because the interview will revolve around these skills. If you've put them in your CV, then the interview will revolve around these skills. So these are some of the skills that you can check out in the technical aspect. Apart from that, there's the consultancy field, which I talked about, which is slightly less technical. And all of these skills do come in handy if you're in consultancy as well. Excel, Tableau, like these skills come in, like I use them every day. I use Excel every day at my job. So you can't escape that, right? I know my friends in Bain who are on a different project and who use Tableau every day. Like Tableau is their bread and butter. So they can't get ahead with Tableau, right? So you need to be take care of that. And apart from that, I'd say for the consultancy field, then there's the interview preparation. So there's something that you can learn is basically case studies and guesstimates. So if you I'd say the fastest way to learn about them is straight away just you search them on YouTube or search them on Google. There are a lot of free resources. There are umpteen number of resources free that you can basically learn case studies and guesstimates with. These are just terms to you right now. I hope some of you already know about them, but if you don't, and if you're preparing for consultancies, or if you're preparing for data analyst, not particularly data analyst, but consultancies, they help a lot. Like these are what your second or third round of interviews will revolve around. These are case studies and guesstimates. Just Google them. I can give you a brief example. So basically, guesstimates is a question like where they judge your way of thinking. So they want a person who can think in a structured manner. Your thinking shouldn't go in multiple paths. If they ask you a question, you don't necessarily need to answer it immediately. You need to answer it in a structured manner. So that's what they're looking for in interviews, and that's what they're looking for basically in interviews, and that they check that through guesstimates and case studies. So basically for guesstimates and case studies, I could say that one free resource that I like very much where you can start with is Victor Cheng videos. I Kunal can put the link in the description, I guess. And yeah, that's a very good video series for you to get a brief about what consultancy is, what guesstimates and case studies revolve around, and you can go to you can get an idea about that. So that's something about it.
Awesome. Well, that was a very detailed explanation. Also, you shared some nice resources. So yeah, thanks a lot for sharing. And now just one last question, which is what is like next for you? What do you often see, like even for you, and what do you see is like what does the like few years down the line look for, let's say, the people you have interacted with in the data analytics field? Like what do they usually go ahead with uh, in their role as they move forward?
So yeah, that's a brilliant question. So I divide that answer into three categories. So basically I've seen what I've seen, there are multiple roles that you can take up, but I just divide them into three broad categories. So one is basically people who are placed at like big brand names right now, right? Big companies and data analytics and software. So like they do their job diligently. They learn on the tricks of the trade. They learn on all the skills that are required to make them a good data scientist, a good data engineer. And then what they I've seen them do is they pivot to more growth oriented startups, and then they're there at a senior position. They don't have to take another degree. Usually they have their experience, they have their skills, and they go into like growth startups, and then they help them scale quickly because they have worked at a big corporate. They know how to analyze data. They have the experience of like handling big clients. So growth startups and like high growth startups, which are like everywhere in India right now, just gobble them up. They just give out offers like endlessly. So that's one field where I've seen people that I've talked to in data analytics, data science go into. The next field I've seen them go into is somebody who's too passionate about data scientists. I've data science, data engineering, data analytics. I've seen them go for an MS, usually abroad, or you can also do it in India. I'm not aware of those much choices in Indian colleges, but I'm sure there are many since I am inclined to go abroad. So I know I've researched about abroad a lot. So basically MS in data analytics, MS in data engineering, anything related to that is definitely a plus for them, and that's where they go to, and then they again search for their roles that they're interested in. So that is another category. The third category is the consultancy folks, people who are in management consultancy or who want to shift to management consultancy after data analytics. What I've seen them do a couple of years down the line is pursue an MBA. So basically an MBA from a good enough college, whether it be abroad, whether it be in India, is basically a stamp on your resume that yeah, now like you can go for consultancy roles. You are a verified consultant. You are a verified consultant before that as well, but that's just a thing that people do, right? You are So basically the three tracks, if I have to sum up, is you can go work at startups, you can go work at like big companies after gaining some initial experience, like 2 years, 4 years, 5 years down the line. You can work at high growth startups if you want more challenging jobs, or you can take up a good role in a big company. That's one thing. Like another thing is MS in data science, MS in data analytics, or something like that, whether it be from India or abroad. And the third is an MBA. Like a lot of them also pursue an MBA. Maybe somebody wants to go into finance, so he does a MBA in finance, and then he already has those data skills, and now he has finance knowledge, so he can venture into the financial field, which is a huge sector to make money, right? So, and apart from that, if somebody's interested in marketing, they do an MBA in marketing, and now they already have their digital analytical skills. Combine that with marketing, and you get, yeah, like you are like at the top of the stairs, like you're at the top of the table. For anyone who wants to pick your resume will definitely pick you, because you already have data analytics skills and you have an MBA in marketing. You know everything about marketing combined with digital. Yeah, that's hot. That's a hot piece of cake right now. So that's it.
Awesome. Well, lots of options to choose from, and we shared everything. So do check out the links in the description. But thanks a lot for joining, Karan. Really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks a lot for coming on the show. And see everyone else in the next one. Bye.
Yeah, thank you, Kunal. Bye.